All right, it's 2 minutes past the hour. Let's get started here. Okay, welcome to the Business Finland's webinar series on smart mobility, organized by Business Finland, which is the Finnish government's innovation funding and foreign direct investment arm. My name is Petra Söderling, and I'm stationed in the US with a role to help US companies discover business and research opportunities in Finland. A few years ago, I had the pleasure of spending an hour with Greg Barrett, who was already then a retired CEO and chairman of the board of Intel Corporation. He was advising me on a startup that I was trying to get off the ground at the time. And he reminded me that you have to continuously cannibalize your own business, because if you don't, others will. Now, if you look at the auto industry today, these words ring definitely true. We've got different business models, service concepts, novel power sources, clean energy. There are various combinations of software and hardware that aspire to merge into a seamless human-computer interaction. All extremely fascinating stuff. When I was inviting US companies to this webinar, I heard several people mention that, oh, I had no idea that Finland has a car cluster. Now, in the traditional sense, we don't. But we do know software, we do know hardware, and we definitely know user experience. Today, we're going to hear from two incredibly innovative companies who are building future products in Finland in the city of Tampere. We have German BHTC and US-based Axon. And before them, we're going to have Lylynoja, who is a senior business advisor from Business Tampere, setting the scene on this new Finnish automotive cluster. Before we get there, quick word on house rules. During the three presentations, you will be able to type in questions in the Q&A field on your GoToWebinar panel. You can choose to be anonymous, or you can put in your name and a company. The questions will be anonymous to other attendees. And at the end of the three presentations, I will read your questions out loud to the speakers, but I will not read your name and your company. That will remain with us in case you would like us to contact you for further information. This session is recorded and it will be made available to you. Without further ado, let's get down to today's agenda. First speaker is Lylynoja from Business Tampere. Let me make you the presenter. Okay. And you can also enable your video so we can see your face. Oh, also, Ari is located in their office in Tampere, and I wanted to mention the background, which is a historic industrial picture from the city of Tampere, which has long roots in manufacturing. We can see your screen if you want to go down to the PowerPoint. No, you're also muted. Can you unmute yourself? Now we can see the PowerPoint, but we still can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you.
Very good. What about the screen?
It's a split screen, so if you can go into your settings and choose.
I'll do it now. Okay, better?
Now it's good. Go ahead. Thank you.
Very good. Thanks a lot, Petra, and a good evening from Tampere. It's already evening here. Today, the topic is why Finland is a top location for automotive R&D. But before going deep into that topic, I'd like to say a couple of words about us. Greetings from Business Tampere. So we are the Tampere Region Economic Development Agency. We promote investments and we create the best environment for business in Tampere region. We are about 40 people. In the screen you can see them. And we are owned by the city of Tampere and 7 municipalities around Tampere. And I took also one screen about Tampere, as you probably don't know much about Tampere before. So here are just a couple of points. We are located about 112 miles north from the city of Helsinki, and only a couple of hours flight away from the middle Europe. Tampere region is the second largest urban area in Finland, and 80% of the Finland's industry is within 2-hour range from Tampere. So we are really the industrial capital of Finland. And Tampere is also the most popular city to live, study and work, voted by Finns several years in a row. So here we are in the red dot. And going to automotive manufacturing, we don't really have large established automotive manufacturing industry in Finland. However, we have Valmet Automotive, for example, who is the only assembly factory for passenger cars in Finland. They make Mercedes-Benz A-Class and also GLC. And they are also tier 1 supplier of convertible roof systems for major OEMs such like BMW, Daimler, Bentley, Audi, Porsche and more. Then we also have a little bit heavier equipment. Sisu is making heavy-duty trucks and military vehicles. You can see the lower picture in the screen. And we have also several smaller special vehicle manufacturing companies customizing and making buses, taxis, trailers, and so on. Now, despite of the fact that we don't really have many automotive OEMs in Finland, we have several hubs for automotive R&D. Here are some of the main locations. For example, Helsinki Greater Helsinki area has smart mobility focus, and Tampere, where I am at the moment, we have autonomous driving, digital cockpit, connected car software, sensors, camera technology, and so on. Turku, they focus on autonomous systems. They have electrification and battery technologies there. Oulu is also there up north. They are experts in wireless connectivity, software development, and others. And in the very northern part of Finland, in Lapland, we have also very excellent winter testing facilities for the automotive. So this is basically the map view what we have here in Finland. But if you think about the question why Finland is a top location for automotive R&D, there are, I guess, several reasons for that. One is the top quality education. This is free for all the residents up to doctorate degree level. We have also the second most skilled workforce in the world. Our education is world best at answering future needs. And we are ranked 5th globally in university and industry collaboration. So, and also the good thing is that you don't need to learn Finnish, as 90% of Finns under the age of 30 speak English. So we basically all speak English. Now, we have also a very strong ICT product building heritage, especially here in Tampere. We used to be a big Nokia R&D site. At those days, we had, I guess it was 5,000 R&D engineers at the peak. This is the home of smartphone. We made the first GSM call. We sent the first text message. We have also a lot of expertise in the fields of camera and imaging technologies in the region. And if you think about product design, software, mechanical and electrical engineering, they are all relevant in automotive domain as well. The user interface of modern car, it looks today very much like a smartphone. Now, cameras are widely used in automotive for monitoring surroundings of the car, as well as driver and the passengers. Tampere imaging ecosystem is one of the top imaging hubs in the world. After Nokia collapsed, camera and imaging expertise attract many international companies to open R&D center here in Tampere. You can see some of the logos on the screen. Tampere has also a long history in machine building and industrial automation. Today, Tampere is a top location of intelligent mobile machines, which have many things in common with today's automotive industry as well. You may recognize some of the companies, for example, US-based Akko Power, which delivers engines for tractors and combine harvesters for all the group brands, including Valtra, Fendt, Massey Ferguson, and Challenger. John Deere Forestry is another US company who has an R&D site here in Tampere. They develop automation and control systems for forest machines here. Automotive industry, as you all know, is transforming rapidly as cars are becoming more and more autonomous, connected, electric, and shared. There are completely new business models and new ways of using cars today. We have an active automotive cluster in Tampere region. Members include high-tech companies as well as research and education institutes, international companies such as BHTC and Axon present today, and NSG Group, AAC Technologies have all R&D centers in the region as well. Now, active and straightforward collaboration is quite important. Co-creation, innovation, fast piloting and testing with partners and good collaboration between ecosystems and industries are quite easy in Finland. There's a quote by Mark Ollila saying that with Finns, communication is straightforward, it's straight to the point, very honest, very efficient. And I believe this is true, and that's one of the reasons why we are often considered as quite trusted partners. This was very fast introduction for the topic. Thank you, and I guess it's over to you, Petra.
Thank you, Ari.
I should probably stop sharing.
That was fascinating. Yeah, if you're able to unshare.
Yep.
I can also. Okay, thanks. I will pass the baton to Vesa Pelli, our next speaker. He is the managing director. HMI R&D BHTC Finland. He will explain what all those acronyms mean. Vesa has an extensive experience on hardware design, first at Nokia and then later at Microsoft. He's been heading the BHTC site in Tampere since 2017, and he will tell us more about why this German company decided to settle in Tampere. Now I'm making you a presenter, Vesa. If you're able to share your video and also share your screen.
Hello everybody, hopefully you can see me and you can hear me. Okay, good. So as mentioned,
I'm sorry, Vesa, can you put it on slideshow mode so we see the full presentation?
Is it now better?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Petra. As said, I'm leading the BHTC activities in Finland, in Tampere, and I will tell you shortly about the company itself and then a couple of reasons why we are here in Finland, in Tampere. First of all, about the company. So maybe you have been wondering that what is BHTC. It's coming from the company names like Mahle, Peer and Hella. So it's a Peer Hella Thermocontrol. So, and company started 20 years ago in Germany. The target was to have 500 employees, 100 million turnover, but nowadays it's like 3,000 employees globally, having a 500 million turnover annually. So it has been growing fast and it's very international. So here you can see that we have been located now globally, where our customers are, and our customers are car makers. So we are the first tier supplier for the car makers. And I shortly give some glimpse about the products, what we are doing. Actually, this is a picture of Audi A7 model, where we have two big displays having not only the display and touch, but there's also the force sensing and haptics feedback in these big screens. So it's more than we have been used to have in our mobile devices. We have two business areas. One is a climate business, where's this kind of traditional climate control units, climate black boxes and climate components. We have also the newer area like HMI, human machine interaction, where we are focusing our activities here in Finland. So we have CIDs, touch devices, integrated center stack devices, and also all the new kind of innovations like gesture control based on camera solutions or different kind of other sensors. This is giving an idea about the different technologies we are working with. So we are creating hardware, mechanics, and software for our devices, and it's as you know, automotive stuff. What is happening there inside is more and more display-centric operation between a human and a car. There's a displays, touch technologies included, and also different kind of proximity gesture recognition. When you touch the screen, you can have a force sensing haptical feedback for the more kind of creative interaction between the human and machine. Of course, different kind of surfaces are playing a very important role, how the device itself is feeling and looking like. And as said, systems are getting more and more complex. There's more processing power inside, so this kind of thermal management, EMC topics, they are getting more and more important. Some references about our customers. You can see there's practically all the big ones as our customers. Volkswagen Group, BMW, Daimler. For example, in every Daimler car, there's something from the BHTC. And more is coming all the time. About the innovations, as I already mentioned, there's a big number of different kind of technologies what are enabling these new kind of user experiences. And why? This was the key topic for this webinar. Why Finland? We started the discussion 4 years ago in August 2016 with the BHTC. I didn't have any clue about the company, what they're doing, what are the products, who are the customers. Visited there in August 2016, first time in Germany. We meeting the management board like 1.5 days. It was a long time to discuss with the management board about the opportunity in Finland. And in the second day, the German managers started to ask that could you give some evidence about available talents in Finland. After 2 weeks, I was able to share 420 CVs with these German guys. They were very impressed about talents available, interested about the automotive business. And 6 months after this first meeting with the BHTC management board, we started the operation. So my key message is that we have in Finland, in Tampere, we have a great, talented, experienced people interested to do new innovations, new kind of products, not having only the technical skills, they are having also the global network. There was a big team of very talented, innovative guys in the Nokia Microsoft times, were creating these very innovative mobile devices, and that was bringing the huge asset for the people, that knowing the technologies, knowing the people, knowing the companies. And that I think was the biggest reason why the German company decided to come to Tampere, Finland. And we have also these great research opportunities here with the local university. There's roughly 36,000 university students around us. So it's like a kindergarten for the high-tech companies, that we can also feed ideas to university for research activities. We can get the results out of these studies, and are also very talented, innovative, motivated new guys on board to our company and other companies. So this kind of collaboration is very fluent, and also what I said, here's also international guys joining the team, able to do the international business, and it has been valued very nicely by our customers that we have also this long experience from the mobile business, consumer electronics business. Same trends can be seen in automotive, that there's coming bigger and bigger screens, borders has to be more and more narrow, design has to be slimmer and slimmer. So all the same trends can be seen in the automotive segment where we are working with. This was very short story about us, and hopefully was giving some idea why we are in Finland. So I think the key message takeaway from my side is that the people, right kind of people with good attitude and ability to innovate, do something what has been never before done. Thank you.
Thank you, Esa. That was incredible. I have a number of questions here, but let's go in the order that I suggested in the beginning. We'll have the third presentation and we'll do a discussion afterwards. Really okay. Fascinating stuff. Okay, let's move on from the climate control and displays to security and imaging. Axon is known as the creator of the taser weapon, but over the years, they've grown into a full-fledged public safety technology innovation powerhouse. So why on earth would this iconic US company be developing technologies in Finland? That we will hear from Juha Alakarhu. He is the Vice President of Imaging at Axon. He's also the alumni of the Nokia Microsoft gang that Vesa is, and myself as well, having headed imaging R&D in both companies. Before joining Axon, Juha was the head of imaging in the Ozo team, which was Nokia's virtual reality camera. Also another iconic, exciting product. So I will promote you as a panelist. I'm sorry, presenter, Juha. So you will be able to start sharing your screen, and unfortunately we don't have video with you, but very handsome fellow, as you can tell from the photo. So go ahead, Juha, floor is yours.
Okay, now you can hear me. Good morning. Thanks for the intro, Petra. So my name is Juha Alakarhu. I work in Axon and Axon Public Safety Finland subsidiary. And like was just introduced, Axon is a US-based company. We are developing a lot of solutions for law enforcement. And the most well-known product from Axon is probably the taser conductive electrical weapon. And nowadays we are also having lots of these body and in-car cameras for law enforcement. And of course, these cameras are becoming increasingly important to help to build the trust and transparency towards the police work globally. Axon has also several other solutions for law enforcement, but these are probably the most famous and well-known. There's also an opportunity here in Axon to try how it feels to be shot by a taser weapon, but somehow I have always found myself very busy with some other activities while they have been doing it, so I haven't really felt that yet, but some of my colleagues have, and they say that it's a little bit painful, 5 seconds. So Axon Public Safety Finland, the story, why we are here in Finland. We were developing the Ozo virtual reality camera back in 2016-17, and then Nokia announced that the virtual reality camera development will come to its end. And so I was kind of thinking, what's the next step for our team, and what's what's the best way forward. And Tampere is one of the top imaging clusters in the world, and Axon was in the need for imaging talent. So it was a pretty good match. Like mentioned earlier, our background is in smartphone imaging. We have done virtual reality. There's quite a bit expertise in AI, and of course, from those, there's lots of expertise in embedded software and also high volume production. So I remember my first phone call with Axon. It was 18th of August 2017, almost exactly 3 years ago, and we were just talking about the needs that Axon has and the talent that we have here in Tampere, and what could be becoming available. And Axon became interested. We had the job interviews, so I think Axon sent like four guys to visit Tampere, Finland in October, and all the interested people were joining the job interviews, and then the decision to go forward was in 1 month from that. And as some of you may know, like the October, November is really the most worst season from weather-wise in Finland. So it's dark and cold and wet, but it's not snowing yet. So I guess it was not the weather why Axon eventually decided to set up the site here in Tampere. It's a quite
I think we lost you, Juha. Are you able to adjust your microphone a little bit?
on products, body cameras and the in-car cameras. We are responsible for imaging hardware and software. And we have also started implementing a automotive product here in Tampere. So originally our team didn't have so much experience in automotive imaging, but it's been lots of learning, and I think we are pretty good in that also nowadays after working on automotive products for 3 years. I had to say that especially the thermal challenges have been surprisingly interesting, especially given our headquarters is in Arizona. So the temperatures inside the vehicle cabin can get quite hot, slightly different from Finland. Of course, this distance from Scottsdale to Tampere is relatively long, but I think we have been able to make this work really well. There are clear deliverables. We have been able to bring exactly the kind of imaging camera innovation that Axon was needing, and I think it's a good partnership with both ends. And that was my last slide, so thanks a lot.
Thank you, Juha. I can imagine those people from the Scottsdale headquarters coming to Tampere in October and November and still deciding that, yeah, this is the place where we want to set up our R&D. Yeah. Great. I have a number of questions, so I'm gonna unmute. Okay, Ari and Vesa, you're self-muted, so if you can unmute yourselves and also try to turn on your cameras. And while before I go into the questions, I wanted to ask you, Juha, about this. I read this story about Axon, how one of your VPs from the headquarters from Arizona came to Tampere, and he was telling about Sergeant Jones, apparently who is a police officer using Axon body cameras. And Sergeant Jones apparently was complaining about when you look at the video from the body cam and you freeze the video, the image is not so clear. And you just said, oh, that's very interesting. And then you guys went on to do your business. And the next time your VP came back to Finland, you pulled him aside and took him to the back room and said, hey, check this out, and you guys had figured out how to solve that problem.
Yeah, that's a true story. So we that was one of the first kind of deliverables from our team. We were able to implement the way to make these videos look way more clear, much more clarity, stop the motion blur in the video, and I think overall, of course, when you start a new team, I guess in both ends we were thinking, okay, how soon are we able to deliver something tangible to the Axon products? But it was just maybe a few months, and then we had these kind of things coming, so kind of able to show that we actually know something.
Yeah, that's a great story, and it speaks to what Vesa was telling, the experiences with the German headquarters as well. I guess one of the reasons why they were able to make the decision so fast and hire the people so fast is that in Tampere you had full teams, like multidisciplinary teams that were able to create full products instead of having specialists for, in working in silos for different verticals.
That is correct. We did have a very good portfolio of different kind of talents available, and very much interested about the automotive business, because as already Ari mentioned, that we don't have OEMs, car makers here in Finland. So it's a new area, and I can truly say that the automotive industry is now the most interesting business at the moment.
Ari, do you know any other nice stories about having full teams with John Deere or AGCO, for example? Did they decide to hire like piecemeal engineers, or did they take whole teams?
I guess many of the kind of big success stories here in Tampere region has been involved when there has been a good team available, a good talented team available, which has been then available for the company who's setting up the R&D site here.
Yeah, on your slides, Ari, you mentioned currently the strengths would be imaging, mobility, and the manufacturing of the cargo machines, etc. Do you have teams available in these domains, or how would it work if, let's say, a US company is interested in setting up a remote?
Now that's a difficult question. Teams vary, and time to time there are availability also of those teams, but I would also say that there are a good possibility for collaboration. So if you think about the possible new location for your business, Tampere is a very good option in these fields that you just mentioned, but also there are other fields such as health technology, clean tech, bio and circular economy, and so on. So we are always willing to discuss about possible collaboration possibilities as well.
Yeah, that's actually one of the first questions. So you mentioned that you have this ecosystem and it consists of companies, but do you also welcome researchers who are not creating products from, let's say, from the US, and how would they plug into that ecosystem that you have there?
Yeah, we surely would welcome US universities and research institutes to join our ecosystems as well. For example, we have a good collaboration with Tampere University, for example, Tampere University Unit for Computer-Human Interaction, and also we are looking forward to collaborate with other universities and research institutes as well. So we would really like to welcome those. We don't have any strict kind of rules, and I guess it's always a question of discussion. What are the targets and expectations and so on? So
in practice, how does it work? Like, do you guys have meetups or events? You get together? Do you share? What about IP? If, let's say, a company comes in and starts to collaborate with the university, what happens with the intellectual properties?
Okay, that's a good question. Typically, if you think about our, for example, Tampere Automotive Cluster, this is very active cluster. Typically, we meet twice a year, Last time we had a networking event in March. Then unfortunately COVID-19 hit us, and we are not able to meet us in person. But I guess we have to go to more virtual mode from now on for a time being. And if you then think about IPs and stuff like that, we are quite open. We like to think about open innovation and collaboration, and quite straightforward and trusted kind of atmosphere what we have here. Then of course, if it's going to be more like sensitive areas of expertise or company information, then there's a discussion about NDAs and other agreements if they are necessary or not. But that's case by case.
Okay.
Can I add something about related to this collaboration with the universities and research institutes? During the Nokia times, the rules for the IPR for this kind of confidential stuff, licensing, they were set pretty nicely. So there's already a good background for this kind of collaboration, and all the rules have been written and agreed together with the university, with some companies. So it's pretty easy to come in for such a collaboration.
That sounds good. Especially, I loved Vesa, how you described the students as a kindergarten, like that companies can play with. So even, you know, if you have that kind of environment, and then the IP rules are very friendly for the companies, it sounds like a good proposal.
Especially the licensing model is very clear. So there's no this kind of unclarities when you start the collaboration. And this is always the first question when starting the research collaboration, how the IPR will be handled.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you both, BHTC and Axon, are you looking to expand to other areas of research? Vesa, you explained the very complicated system integration model in your displays. It's already complicated, but are you looking to expand into adding even more to your technical portfolio?
I'm scouting new technologies all the time. We are doing that globally. We have also experts there in the US scouting startups, research collaboration, etc. So we need to keep our eyes and ears open all the time for the new opportunities. And as said, we are not the biggest one in the globe for automotive business. So we are looking for also this kind of little smaller, hungry companies, institutes, universities to work with.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the profile of the attendees. I think we have them online right now.
And the same in Axon. So obviously we are already now doing way more than just the imaging subsystem, and the team has been taking bigger and bigger share of the R&D, and we are like Vesa said, continuously looking for new opportunities in imaging and also other technologies, and feeding them into our products. That's like, I think, natural in any R&D in today's world. So of course you do that.
Yeah, I think maybe to summarize from what you all said is companies don't outsource to Finland, or they definitely don't offshore to Finland. They use the team in Finland as one of their core R&D engines to look into the future and create new cool solutions. You agree?
I fully agree.
Yeah, totally.
All right. So we're 40 minutes into the hour. I promise not to go too long. We've run out of questions other than admin stuff questions that I will address with those who asked separately. But just to summarize, thank you all for the time today. It's been a pleasure to host the live stream between Finland, Tampere, and the US. If you have any additional questions, please contact me. I am here in the US, and my role is to help US companies discover all these opportunities in Finland. My email is firstname.lastname@businessfinland.fi. So that's petra.soderling, Petra Söderling @businessfinland.fi. FI. And tomorrow we have another webinar with the team also from Tampere. Coincidentally, the computer human interaction team has developed this 3D touch steering wheel concept that's very interesting. So tune in tomorrow to that as well. You can find it on the same website where you found this webinar. Thank you very much for our panelists and speakers, and thank you all attendees. And you all have a very good day, a very good evening wherever you are. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Bye.